Hello, everybody, and welcome to another day of Jenny's Biblical Messages. My name is Jenny Malm. Today, my pastor at church said something profound, and I'm going to give you that line, but what I came up with, what I started thinking about, is a little bit different than what he said today at church. As I was writing this all up and coming up with this idea, the Holy Spirit was really, I was just typing, he was using all the words, because some of this isn't even my words or my way of thinking. So it's pretty awesome the way that happens. So the title is Heaven is Free, but a Heavenly Life on Earth Takes Work. So what I've been thinking about is how people become Christians, but then they don't know what to do next. As important as salvation is, if you're just wandering around, it's not easy to take the steps needed to be like Christ. You need help with that. You need community. So for me, I was baptized as a baby. I went to church off and on my entire life, and I had a relationship with Jesus. But I was also in the world. And honestly, Jesus was last on my list. I really didn't think about him. I really didn't think about going to him when situations would come up, when I should have just prayed and gone to him to talk about it. I just tried to do it all on my own. And when we do this, even if we have the salvation, we don't have the freedom. Corinthians 3:17 says, where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. When we have the Holy Spirit inside of us, he guides us. He guides our paths on our lives. Often we think that being Christian isn't fun and that we must follow all kinds of rules. Well, part of that is true. One, I have a lot of fun. But we do need to follow rules. Not because God is mean or he's mad at us. It's because he loves us so much that he doesn't want us to be in pain. He wants us to go in the right direction. When we do life our way, we make mistakes. We hurt ourselves and others because we're prideful. We think we have all the answers, and that we think that we have all the answers, but actually what we're doing is we're actually like those gerbils running in that cage, that wheel. We're just going over and over again, and we're not going anywhere because we don't know the purpose that God has for us. So back in 2016, this wasn't like a conscious decision, but I left the Catholic Church and I became Christian. I was in a dark place in my life. I kept making mistakes. I was miserable. I was depressed. I was anxious. And all of this happened because I was doing life on my own. And I actually used to say I was like the Israelites wandering around for 40 years. And then let me tell you, that church, although it gave me that first step that I needed, it didn't take me where I needed to go. So then I went another 5, 6, 7 years of still wandering around, because I had part of it, but I didn't have all of it because I was doing it on my own. And I think sometimes we think that we can do everything on our own. I know for myself, I remember saying a lot of times that, I'm an independent woman and I can do this all on my own and it's fine and I can do it. But really, I was just breaking down crying inside because I needed help. I need help from other people. And when we are going to a good church that is teaching us the good biblical values, then we end up getting the help that we need. Not only the Christian help, but also help around the house or with meals or or raising children, or, all kinds of different things, because we help each other and we're like-minded now. So at first, when we give our entire lives to God, it's really hard because we have to relearn how to do everything. We can't just go back to our old habits and the way things were. We need to literally be transformed. So Romans 12:2 says, "Do not conform to the patterns of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." What you'll find is once you transform your mind to be Christ-like, then things start falling into place and life gets easier. Why is that? It's because you're denying your flesh. Your flesh is what gets you in trouble. Yourself. You do whatever you want and you do it whenever you want, and you have no self-control. Without self-control, we are all over the place and we just end up messing up our lives. Self-control actually equals freedom. Once you stop lusting, stop your addictions, stop spending all of your money, you will notice that you are healthier and you're more joyful. And those, my friends, are signs of freedom. And you can only get that with the help of the Holy Spirit. You cannot get that freedom by yourself. And no other person can give you that freedom, because we have our free will and we fall short. And sometimes we take people off of the right path that they're supposed to be on. So that's why it's so important to be in a community with Christ-like people, like-minded people, so that the advice that they are giving you is coming from the Holy Spirit. It's not coming from their flesh. Because if we follow human flesh, we're just getting ourselves into trouble over and over and over again. So if you have been thinking that you need to make changes in your life, it's simple. Come to Jesus. Whatever walk you are in now, take the next step in your relationship with Him so you can finally live in the freedom that you deserve. Have a blessed day, everybody.